People, what's going on? What's going on, everybody? What's going on? Welcome back, everybody. Welcome back. Listen, we're gonna be chatting about what is going on with Man United, right? As I'm checking out the reports here, let me hook up. I should have had this ready to go. Hoping you guys can hear me. Hoping you guys can hear me clearly. Hoping you guys can hear me. Guys, listen. All right, man. We're going to be talking about what's going on in the news today. We see that there's some talks, right? Could Casemiro be on his way out? Is this something that we could see happening, guys? Right? So basically, it's like this. It's first of all, this news today. I thought the transfer window was closed, right? But the way it looks like it, things could be cooking on the background, right? So basically, it's like this. After that humiliating 3-0 loss to Liverpool, Manchester United's problems seem to be escalating, both on and off the pitch. What if I told you guys Anthony might be on his way out? And also Casemiro could be next in line to leave Old Trafford, right? So, guys, this is going to be interesting, but we're going to talk about it and see what's going on, and discuss it, right? Because it is getting crazy right now at Manchester United, right? So, again, thank you so much, guys, for being here. Smash a like as you're coming in. Make sure to hit that subscribe if you haven't done so already, right? I appreciate you as I'm trying to fix here my camera. That's the thing about live, man. Things will be moving around and you're trying to figure out, okay, what is the best way to do here? But you know what? Hey, the show must go on. All right, so let's talk about what's going on here. So basically it's like this. Losing that 3-0 to Liverpool, basically, it's definitely, it wasn't like it was bad enough, but what's going on behind the scene is like it might just have made it worse, because according to reports, this is out of Turkey, right? Fenerbahce, led by one of our own in Jose Mourinho, right? And Jose Mourinho is planning a shock loan move for our very own Anthony. Yes, you heard that right. The same Anthony who we splashed 85.5 million for just 2 years ago could be heading out on a temporary basis, that is, right? So people, smash a like as you're coming in. Thank you so much for being here, right? So again, if you're just coming in, hit that like. Wait, we're talking about these news reports that Anthony could be on his way out. Casemiro could also be on his way out. Because you know what? Yes, I know you're saying the transfer window is closed, right? Well, it is. But in Turkey, I believe it closes September 13th. So there's still time. So that's why we're talking about these links of Anthony and Casemiro, right? So basically the report is saying like the Turkish transfer window remains open until September 13th, giving them the time to pull off this surprising move, right? Anthony, who basically found himself on the sideline this season with just a single minute of football action, is reportedly being targeted by Jose Mourinho at Fenerbahce, right? Basically, Jose sees him as a perfect fit to strengthen their attack. And let's face it, Anthony's time at United hasn't been anything to write home about, really, guys. We know that, he's been frustrating. To me, I find him that he's more like one-dimensional. He always wants to cut to his left and, to cross or try to hit that top bins, which most of the time it really doesn't work out with Anthony, right? People, let me know if you cannot hear me. I hope you can. I just hooked up these headphones last minute. I was not prepared. I know when you go live, people, get ready, prepare yourself. But again, listen, I was working, I finished working, and I saw these reports. I said, you know what? Let me jump in and talk with the family, right? So, so basically, the report is saying, listen, Anthony, time at United hasn't been anything but smooth, right? And maybe a move could be the spark he needs to reignite his career, right? Let's see who do we have here. Randall Madrid. Manu should sell Rashford and buy Asensio. Listen, Randall Madrid, thank you so much for being here. That is a very good comment, my brother. Have you subscribed it? If you haven't, hit the subscribe. Listen, I wish we could, man. I wish we could, but the transfer window is closed. Honestly, I would swap Rashford right now because he's struggling at Man United, right? He's struggling, and you know he could probably do a job if we were to do a swap. But again, can Madrid handle? You know, can Madrid handle the Rashford's salary? Because you know we know how we roll at Man United, right? We pay our players a whole bunch of money for doing nothing, right? Right? So that is our problem. So listen, if we can offload a Rashford, listen, I'll take that deal right now. I love Rashford. He's a Mancunian, born and bred, academy graduate. He did his thing, but I think a move away, it could very well be good for everybody, right? He gets to change the scenery. You know, he gets to practice his trade somewhere else. Because right now, honestly, at Man United, he's struggling. He's not delivering. Last season, he struggled, right? This season, he started the last couple of games. He hasn't really been, you know, doing his very own best. So, Random Madrid, he is saying we should swap him for Asensio. Listen, I like Asensio. I've been watching him for a while. You know, I will take that deal, buddy. I will take that deal. But you know, we shall see. Maybe next summer, you know, that thing can happen. But this summer, I thought maybe PSG will come for him, thinking that PSG lost Mbappe and PSG needs that big name that way people can actually watch that league. Not a lot of people are watching the French league, so thinking that was going to happen. But hey, Rashford is still here, and you know, we shall see this season. I don't see him moving, right? So back to Anthony, though, a player that could move. These are reports coming from Fenerbahce, right? Of course, Mourinho, you know, he sees an opportunity here to grab Anthony on a loan. Again, it will be good for him to for example, to leave, and we may get a portion of that transfer fee, maybe get some break on the salary. But one thing I can say is this: like with Anthony, yes, I agree with you. Around Madrid, you're saying Anthony needs to have time. True, he does, but the thing is, you know, what's this is already second, third season. He's still not performing. Like to me, Anthony, as I was saying, is very one-dimensional, right? He tries to take on players, and then he tries to cut to his left, you know, to hit the cross or something, or try to score. And most of the defenders in the Premier League, they already know his moves, right? So whenever he tries to cut to his left, they're at him, so he can't really do much. Now, from what I've heard, when Man United signed Mazraoui, basically because both of them played at Ajax together, you know, Mazraoui could unlock Anthony, but again, you know, time will tell. So we shall see. Just loan him to Saudi, brother. Listen, we thought the Saudi league would rescue us this season, but they looked at our players, they were like, forget about it, right? They were like, forget about it, because we thought the Saudi league they were going to come and take our number 6 Casemiro, right? We thought at the beginning of the transfer window, man, everybody was like, yep, the Saudis, they're going to come offer us 35 million for Casemiro. Boom, boom, job done. Yeah, it didn't happen. The Saudi league looked at Casemiro, they're like, yeah, nope, we don't want him. So Casemiro is staying. But according to this other report here, we see that Casemiro also, the midfield general, is reportedly attracting interest from Galatasaray, again from the Turkish league. right? After his nightmare showing against Liverpool, where he was directly involved into two goals that we conceded, there's been some whispers growing louder and louder that, hey, he might be open to a move to Galatasaray. Now, here's the thing: the problem with that, both of these players, we have a problem, right? Yes, Casemiro had a really terrible day at the office against Liverpool, right? Bad day. But the problem is right now, if Man United decide to say, okay, let's allow Casemiro to go, we're gonna be extremely shorthand in that midfield, right? Because oh yes, we have Ugarte coming in, but again, with Ugarte by himself, it could be the same problem. Yes, Ugarte brings more legs, he can do more in that midfield, compared to Casemiro. But the problem is now is if you have just Ugarte there playing by himself, and then Ten Hag doesn't fix the system, then Ugarte could be left to dry in a situation just like similar to what Casemiro is. Huge spaces in the midfield, right? Basically, ideally, Casemiro should have had maybe someone to assist him, to partner him in that midfield. That way he doesn't have to cover a lot of space in that midfield. But the way Ten Hag is playing is, basically once we have the ball, he has his fullbacks bombing forward. Everybody just looking to hit to get the ball up top as quick as possible. And then listen, if we lose the ball, we get countered on, and boom, we get scored on. So that is a problem. So will Ugarte solve this? I don't know. Ideally, I would want to see Casemiro, for example, the next couple of games that are coming up after we come back from international break. Ten Hag has to win because right now he is under tremendous pressure at United, right? People, they're calling for his head right now. They want him sacked ASAP. So Ten Hag has to make sure he shores up that midfield, right? How does he do that? If it was up to me, Ten Hag, I know you watch this channel, Ten Hag, I would say play Casemiro and Ugarte together. Bench Kobe Mainu because he looked kind of leggy. He doesn't look too fresh for me. So you bench Kobe Maino, give him some off the bench minutes, and then you start Ugarte and Casemiro. That we have more control in that midfield, and then you have Bruno play more on the 10, where he thrives up there. That could give you it could shore up that midfield, right? That way we don't get countered on. We have more control in that midfield, right? So that could be something that that could be something that could work, right? But now if you say Man United, boom, boom, Casemiro, you can go to Galatasaray. Yeah, it's gonna be tough. It's gonna be tough because then you're gonna be what? You're left with Christian Eriksen. Come on, man. Christian Eriksen can't do much, right? So do I see this deal happening? Honestly, I don't think United they're gonna pull the trigger on Casemiro, allowing him to leave, because then you are leaving yourself very, very thin in that midfield. Ugarte gets injured, you are in trouble. Next thing you're playing just Kobe Mainu by himself, and Mason Mount injury prone. Right, Toby Collier, he's a young kid, he's still learning the trade, so he really can't do much, right? So Casemiro, I think he is going to be staying. You guys let me know what you think from these reports that Casemiro could be heading out of Manchester United. I don't think that's true, man. I don't think it's going to happen. Ideally, if it was during the summer when the transfer window was open and this news was happening, then yeah, I could have said, all right, you know what? He can go. That way we have time to bring somebody in. Now, talking about bringing somebody in, there is a gentleman out there who is a free transfer, a free agent in the likes of Rabiot, right? Now, if United, for example, decide to pull the trigger on Casemiro and then bring in Rabiot, who is still available, right, as a free agent, which we can bring in because even though the transfer window is closed, free agents can move, they can still move. That will make some sense. But according to reports that we saw when the transfer window was going on, United didn't really look at Rabiot because he, the way Ineos is rolling, he didn't really fit their the profile of a player they're trying to bring in, right? With Ineos, they're trying to bring in like players under 20, under 26. That's what all the players that will be brought in. They're under 26. They're young, hungry, and they're not gonna demand a whole bunch of money. You bring in the likes of Rabiot, for example. Rabiot, he's gonna want uh, a whole bunch of money, right? And United, they don't want to pay anybody more than 200K a week. Now, Rabiot, the reason that he's still available is because of his salary demands, right? Him and his mom is the agent. His mom is like, listen, man, if you want my son, you're going to have to pay him. And United, they're not about to chuck a whole bunch of money to Rabiot, especially a player that you're not going to keep for like 5 years, right? Ineos, they're trying to build something, right? They're trying to build. We saw yesterday on the report, like Omar Barada, Ashworth, they're trying to build a team that not only can win a trophy like tomorrow, which is not going to happen, they can win a trophy soon. They want to build a team that can consistently, compete, right? I know Randall Madrid here, yeah, Man United is trying to be the next Madrid. The way Madrid is rolling, they're building the next Galactico. Like the players, they bring in, they're young and hungry. Yes, they brought in Mbappe, but most of the players, they're kind of phasing away the Luka Modric. They offloaded Casemiro to us, and we United, just like dummies, we took Casemiro. We're like, yeah, we'll take him. Even though he's getting to the kind of tail end of his career, we were like, yeah, we'll take Casemiro, bring him. You see, Madrid, they're smart, man, right? So what Ineos is doing is they're trying to look at that Madrid model, bring in young players that way they can be here long term, and build a team to can compete for many trophies down the road, right? Because we're not going to win the Premier League anytime soon, right? Maybe not next season, maybe the season after that. So that's why Ineos right now, they're trying to get these building blocks together, right? Now, going back to Anthony, another one. So if Anthony is to leave, Ineos pulls the trigger. Again, United, they're going to be extremely short-staffed in the wings. Because right now, if you get rid of Anthony, you only have Ahmad Diallo, you have Garnacho, and then you have Rashford. Because Jadon Sancho is hanging out at Chelsea, right? Which we're happy with that because Sancho was one of those, he can go there. He's a London kid. He can go back to London and enjoy himself. I wish him all the best, but I hope he doesn't light up trees because I don't want him to embarrass us because he can go there and then kill it, and then we'll be looking like dummies. But anyway, everything is good because at the end of the day, we signed the deal with for Sancho to go to Chelsea with an obligation to buy, meaning that problem is out of our door, out of our books. End of season, we get the 25 million, and then we're done with Sancho. We can move on to better, younger players that can do the job for us, right? So again, Anthony leaving, I don't see that one happening as well because, again, with Anthony leaving, if we get injury for Amad Diallo, or for example, or Garnacho, or they're not performing, you don't have really anyone who can come in and do the job. Like it or not, with Anthony, yes, he may not, kill it, but he's always a willing runner. I usually call Anthony a defensive winger, right? He's one of those. When it comes to tracking back, he can play defense very well, but when he goes forward, trying to attack, is not the greatest, right? So it's one of those, like, it's tricky. It's tricky to see how Ineos could be thinking about doing this deal for Anthony or Casemiro, because right now it's very hard to bring in coverage, right? Because if you let Anthony go, I'm not aware of any free agent wingers that are out there, or I don't know if we have any academy graduate that you can promote to the first team. Not to my knowledge. Nobody rings a bell. But in the midfield, we have Toby Collier, who's coming on, coming on up online. But again, even with him, he's young, he's not ready, right? So, honestly, I think this links of Casemiro and Anthony leaving, I do not see them happening, guys. I don't see them happening. Um, but if they do, that will be really, really, really interesting, right? It will be really interesting, of course. The Ineos game plan from the get-go, before the transfer window happened, they wanted to offload Casemiro, right? Because he's one of the highest earners in the team, right? He gets paid over 300K a week. So Ineos wants to get rid of that wage bill from our books. So again, it could be very tempting for them saying, you know what, this could be our chance, man. We can send this guy, so long as he wants to go, we can send him out, and then maybe we roll the dice until January, and then from there maybe we can try to bring somebody in, which is very risky because it creates the same problem that we had last season with injuries in the defense, right? We had a whole bunch of injuries and we didn't have any coverage, so that's very risky. So you know what? I personally I don't see this thing happening. I think it could be just news circling around because they know Casemiro. He's not happy the way he was treated, after that Liverpool game. But again, he deserved to be substituted, man. Casemiro, with all his experience, those mistakes should not have happened, right? Should not have happened. Yes, Ten Hag is huge. He takes a blunt of that blame because he's the one who put the team together. He's the one who put the structure, the system, and that system is not working. We're getting cut open far too easily with teams, and now teams know how to play us, right? Arne Slot, when he was interviewed after the game, he broke it down in less than 2 minutes how he could kill, how they could score on us, right? Target Casemiro, target Lisandro Martinez. Whenever a ball is lost, boom, they kept their wingers up top, Salah and Jota, and the next thing, they regained the ball and they score, right? It was easy, and Liverpool made it too damn easy to play as at home, which is unacceptable, right? So, whenever I'm online, checking some YouTube channel, seeing some of the YouTubers out there, man, people are pissed, man, like the way we lost. And then, of course, there was a lot of people who were already Ten Hag outers. They wanted this guy, obviously sacked. But Ineos said, you know what, we're going to give him a chance. We're going to give him a structure to work on, right? People, smash a like as you're coming in, if you haven't done so, and hit that subscribe, right? Thank you so much for supporting the channel, right? So, we shall see what's going to happen with Ten Hag, but I'm happy that Ineos and Barada, Ashworth did come out to support him. They say, hey, he's our guy. We backed him. We worked very well together in the transfer window. We, to bring in his players, right, to build a team, and they see him a willing partner to work with them in rebuilding this team, right, in a certain system which Ineos have identified. It needs to be played. Basically, that's why they're getting these players that can play in a certain system, and that way going forward, worst case scenario, even if, for example, Ten Hag gets sacked, if changes don't happen by December, for example, then whoever takes over, they'll know what to do with the players because the players can play in the system. And if you ask me, Ineos, they already have a plan at hand by having Ruud van Nistelrooy right there, ready to go in case things don't work out, right? Then he can take over the team. He has already been working with the players. So it could be a smooth transition, but is Ruud van Nistelrooy really the right coach to take over that team? Yesterday we saw reports that we were linked with Thomas Tuchel again. Honestly, guys, Thomas Tuchel, I don't like it, right? I don't like that idea. People, smash the like as you're coming in and hit that subscribe if you haven't done so, right? So the links yesterday that we saw on the bunch of reports of Thomas Tuchel, to me, I find that they're okay because any good footballing structure, right? Example like Brighton, I'm going to use it, Brighton here, they always have the succession plan, right? They know, okay, the Zerbi is going to leave. There's already someone on the wings ready to go. Like their new coach came in, boom, he slotted in nicely. Now they're playing the same type of ball, you know, no skipped heartbeat, right? So with us, Man United, hearing all those links of Thomas Tuchel, it's just Ineos. Basically, they're kind of preparing themselves for worst case scenario situation, right? They did interview Thomas Tuchel before they agreed to continue with Ten Hag, so they know what it's all about. Yes, the deal didn't work out with Ineos and Thomas Tuchel. I think it was more like money related kind of situation, right? But again, he's there on the wings, ready to go, right? And I personally think that if they do sack Ten Hag, it will be Thomas Tuchel. I think it's going to be Thomas Tuchel who's going to take over full time. It could be Van Nistelrooy. It could be like a temporary manager, and then eventually maybe Thomas Tuchel takes over. But definitely, it's not going to be Southgate, man. Forget about Southgate, right? But that is not here, not there. We don't want to think about Ten Hag being sacked because to me, I am Ten Hag in all the way. I want this guy to succeed, but he cannot be stubborn, right? He cannot be stubborn, right? Most of these mistakes that we're seeing now, they're mistakes that they were happening even last season, like midfield being open, very easy to be counted on, and very easy to mistakes happening from the defense. Hey, Baba. All right, mistakes happening in defense. So,
Hello.
I'm on headphones, can't hear you.
Hiya.
Right. So that's my son, guys. Coming back from karate. How was karate?
Good.
Good. Okay. Right. So guys, I really think that with Ten Hag, I think he's going to be here. He's going to be here for at least and through December, I would think, because Ineos, they backed him, right? They invested in him. They gave him the funds, right? They dropped almost like 200 million on his players that can play in his system. So again, it's one of those that Ineos, and they did that strategic review, saying, okay, he's the player, he's the manager that they want to keep. So right now, 3 games in, they cannot go and say, okay, no, we're gonna sack him. It wouldn't make sense, because then they will look foolish to do that, right? Because you guys did this long review trying to say, okay, we're trying to decide, the best course of action here, and then you went to Ibiza, and then you say, hey, Ten Hag, we did the review, we interviewed all these people, and you are the right man for the job, and then, yes, 3 games in, we're going to sack him. Yeah, I don't think that's going to happen, because even though the results have been terrible, yeah, it's not going to happen. Now, if the results continue by December, then it's a whole different ball game, because now Ineos, they would have shown, like, listen, they gave Ten Hag the time to bed in his players. They gave him the time to work his system, right? Because now there's still some excuses saying, okay, we got injuries. Luke Shaw, Terem Malacia, Mason Mount, Rasmus Højlund, and then Ugarte came in late. So there's still excuses. He says, listen, I still don't have my full team yet. I still need more time to get these players ready to go, right? We saw in the last press conference, he was saying, yeah, man, my team is not ready, right? Which we're seeing that now. Of course, the team is not ready. That is the way basically they're playing, right? So by December, by then, excuses will be out the door, because they allowed him. They allowed him to get it done. They allowed him to, implement the way he wants to play, because he's basically has a completely new team, right? So again, the only thing we ask is he looks at his system, and he reevaluates the way he's structured the team to go out to play, because we need to have what do you call? We need to have like backup plans, right? Most good teams they have backup plans in case things don't work out, in case mistakes happen, right? For United, whenever mistakes happen in the back, for example, like the other day we saw Casemiro mispassing, we easily got countered on, and then they scored on us. Two goals, like simple, because the fullbacks, the way Ten Hag is playing is he has the fullbacks bombing forward, ready to attack, leaving the defense only with the two center backs and number six, right? So number six lose the ball, and then it could be like a 4 against 3 or 4 against 2 kind of thing, which we saw with the way Liverpool were able to exploit us because they knew, Arne Slot knew that's how United is going to play, and we got destroyed. So what I'm saying is, Ten Hag, he needs to really go back on the drawing board, reevaluate the way we play, the structure we play. That way we can be hard to break down. Right now, most of these teams that we're going to play, even the 4 games that are coming up after the international break, it is, I cannot confidently say, oh, we're going to win all 4, but to keep his job, this man has to win all those 4 games, right? Because it's not looking good right now. All these reporters and everybody out there who don't like Manchester United, those haters out there, they're sharpening their knives, man. The reporters, they already have their reports ready to go that way they can attack Manchester United. We all know, like, the rest of the world, they don't like Manchester United, right? They want Manchester United to fail, right? And if we succeed, it's not good for business, right? And this is not me saying. A reporter was interviewing Ten Hag last season. He said it bluntly to his face. He said, listen, as reporters, we like to see you guys fail, right? Because then they have things to write. They have anything that you attach Manchester United, it's like clickbait. Everybody's going to click on it. Oh, Manchester United. Oh, Manchester United struggling. Like the first game we played against Fulham, that game was specifically designed because they knew, okay, Ten Hag was given a chance. He was supposed to be sacked, given a chance. So let's see what is going to happen here, right? They expected United to lose that Fulham game. We didn't lose. So that kind of messed up their plans. But the following 2 games, we played right into their hands, right? Brighton, we kind of fumbled it. Unluckily we lost. And then the Liverpool game at home, in front of the entire world, in front of the entire United hierarchy. We saw the owner, Sir Jim Ratcliffe. Sir Jim Ratcliffe, man, he does not have a poker face. You can see his face, the upset. He had his hand on his head, kind of thing. Like, you can see how devastated he is because he's a Man United fan as well, right? So seeing his team get destroyed easily by our arch rivals, Liverpool. Like, guys, if you don't know, in Manchester, from Manchester to Liverpool, it is like less than 30 minutes away. That's how the two areas they're separated, right? So that rivalry has always been there, and we hate each other, right? And these guys came to our house and killed us. Yeah, it's a no-no, right? It's a no-no, but hey, it is what it is, man. We got humbled, and we ate that humble pie, and and that's how it is when you put a team out there thinking that, okay, we're gonna be able to perform, and it did not happen, right? So we shall see. Let's go back to, is Anthony Casemiro going to leave since the Turkish transfer window is still open until the 13th? If you ask me, you guys let me know in the comments below if you think Anthony and Casemiro will be heading out the door. On the scale, I can say on the scale of 1 to 10, what is the percentage you think he's going to be, both of those going to be leaving? If you ask me, none, because again, we really don't have time to bring anybody in unless United decide to offload Casemiro and bring in Rabiot. Then that will kind of make sense. But with Anthony, if you let him go, really who else are you going to bring in? We're going to be very short-handed in that right wing position because then you'll be left with Ahmad, Garnacho, Rashford, right? That's about it. And then in the midfield, you let Casemiro go, then you're stuck with Toby Collier, a kid who is just learning his trade, Ugarte coming in who really hasn't been bedded in yet. So it's kind of risky. It's kind of risky. So are these two deals going to happen? I really do not think so. But if they do, it will be something amazing because then we'll be like, okay, what is happening here? Let me just double check here in Twitter and see if Fabrizio has said anything while I'm here talking to you guys, just in case news did break and this video is already going to be outdated. All right, so let's see what's going on with Manchester United. Do you see anything here trending? Give me 1 second. I'm checking here. Let me check Manchester United Explorer. Okay, I see Rabiot trending. Okay, when it comes to Rabiot, this is from the transfer news. I see that Al Nassr are making a big play to sign Adrian Rabiot as a free agent. 20 million a year contract is on the table. Interesting. Apparently, Cristiano Ronaldo is personally pushing for his arrival. So, smash a like for that, please. Knowing that, you know what, Adrian Rabiot is not going to be the guy, guys, because the whole transfer, when the transfer window was open, we didn't look at Rabiot to bring him in because he does not fit our style of play. He does not fit the profile of a player that we're trying to bring in, right? So I don't think Adrian Rabiot is going to be coming. That being the case, guys, I would safely say I think Casemiro is staying. Casemiro has to stay at this point, right? Let me see what else is going on here let me see what else is going on. So let me see if there's anything from Fabrizio Romano or David Ornstein. Guys, this transfer window, one thing I can say is that Ornstein and Casemiro and Fabrizio Romano, they are truly the GOATs when it comes to the transfer window, man. They killed it. Both of them, they were breaking news, right, back to back kind of situation. And I don't see anything from Fabrizio Romano. Let me check if Ornstein dropped the bomber. David Ornstein. Okay. I don't see anything from Ornstein either. So, yeah, I don't see anything from Ornstein. Talking about Casemiro. Yeah, let's see here. According to the United Stand, I see that this is from Sam C reports. Anthony will not be joining Fenerbahce this transfer window despite rumors. The player is understood to be committed to United and hoping to make a mark when given the opportunity, right? So, and Sam C reports, guys, if you haven't checked him out, check him out. He has been pretty accurate with a lot of the reporting. So, it looks like Anthony is going to stay. It makes sense. It really makes sense because, again, Anthony is Ten Hag's boy, right? And Ten Hag, if they were to offload him, then it would be like it'll be one of those things that you'll feel like a failure, right? It'll feel like a failure for Ten Hag because he kind of advocated for this guy to come, and then now he gets offloaded on loan somewhere. It makes more sense for him to stay, and he could be crucial at some points if we struggle, right? Let's see if we see anything from when it comes to Casemiro. I see from the Times report, yeah, Galatasaray considering making a bid for Casemiro. Again, this is not going to happen, man. This is not going to happen. Um, One thing I can say is Christopher Vivell will stay on as Manchester United interim director of recruitment for the January transfer window after playing a key role in successful summer window for the club. Right? Basically, Vivell he has signed a contract until February and will remain in his role until then, with the likelihood of he then takes up a position on a permanent basis with the club. And basically, the 37-year-old German, he's happy with the relationship that he has gathered at Man United. And listen, this guy, Christopher Vivell, when it comes to identifying talent, he is one of the top talent identifiers out there. He identified the Kone kid who came on board, right? Again, young kid, because obviously you want to build for the future, right? He identified Haaland, right? Before Haaland came to obviously Man City, he identified Haaland. I think he sent him to Leipzig, right, where the rest is history, right? So he knows talent when he sees it. So ideally, we want to keep him because he was crucial in Chido Obi Martin coming on board as well. So again, building the team, building that young core team that we can be together for the next 5 years or 6 years. That we can build that team can compete consistently instead of just getting these pieces that where you can win a trophy here and there, and then you fall off after one trophy win and stuff like that. You want to be consistent, right? People, that is all I got for you. I'll talk to you in the next one. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you for hitting the subscribe, hitting those likes. And you know what? Next time, I'm going to talk to you guys. Hopefully, it's not going to be telling you Casemiro and Anthony has left, because I think that will be very, very risky for Man United. Guys, thank you so much. Peace out.